Okay, so when you start a word list, one of the best things you can do is to kind of just get rolling, right? So, for example, since we're doing on-course training, you just kind of start with whatever comes, whatever comes into the top of your head. So we could start with something like driven, motivated, movement, on track, directed, focused, right? Yep. Car, plane, road, motorcycle, right? It's like there's no wrong answers, okay? It's just whatever comes to mind is what you put down, right? The concept here is that you're just getting ideas out on the page, okay? You just want to see how much you can get out, because later we're going to go through and we're going to refine, and we're going to kind of pick directions and keywords, okay? So you just start going, and again, it can be something random. It can be something as dumb as motorcycle, let's see, highway, compass, weights, muscle, brain, learning, graduation hat, book, light bulb, right? Like you're just following a train of thought, basically like a word association game, okay? And you're going to just write down as many words as you can, and you'll go all over the place. Here you can see I went from, we were brain, light bulb, graduation cap, stairs, bar graph, shoes, ribbon, flag, mountain, tent, river, dog, cattails, cat. We get into this kind of middle column here where it gets all over the place: running, arrow, recycle, triangle, right? Grow, explore, solution, computer, training. We kind of come back to education, coursework, students, teachers, planning, charts, star charts, constellations, galaxies, cosmos, planets, right? It's all over the place because it's intended to be all over the place. You want to just get the ideas out there. And then you're going to refine it down. You're going to pick keywords, words that jump out to you as the most connective to your brand, to on-course training. So I picked these keywords that I felt kind of grouped together: directed, focused, movement, triangle, modern, fresh, initiative. And then planning, chart, stars, constellation, improve, adapt, overcome, and then expedition, voyage, path, direction, explore. Okay, so I picked those four keyword chunks, and then I broke them into directions. So like a modern, abstract, triangular movement direction, like a clean, simple star chart constellation, a clean star chart constellation connected dots kind of an idea, and then like a simple growing, improving, changing idea, like it's like some sort of like a sprout plant kind of a thing, and then more of like a traditional exploration vessel journey kind of concept. Okay, so after I've got all this done, then I'm going to go and I'm going to start my mind map, and I'm going to take my key directions, and I'm going to use those as anchors for my mind map. All right, now you can do either of these first. You don't have to do a word list then a mind map. They can be interchangeable. They're both ways of generating ideas, and then you want to refine after you've generated. So let's move over to the mind map. Okay. So now that I have these main directions from my word list, this is what I'm going to base my mind map off of, right? So I'm going to start with the company name in the middle, which is On Course Training, right? And then I'm going to look at these directions that I have, and I'm going to start with those. So I'm going to start with, let's say, up here we'll start with modern. Right? And if I have an idea immediately, I can build on that, right? So like in this key direction description, I said something about abstract, right? Like modern art is often abstract. We've also got geometric. In the initial word list, I said triangular, but geometric is the same thing. You could even say digital, right? So those things are all related to modern, and we're relating modern to the company of on-course training, right? Okay. So now another word I started with was clean. Okay. Let's see here. I think of blue. Oops. Think of green. Now, I thought of green as a reaction to blue, not a reaction to clean, so they're going to be connected. These won't be connected. But modern and clean would be connected because for me those are connective concepts, and clean is connected to on-course training. Okay, so then I could keep going here, or I could move on to simple, which was another one of my primary directions from derived down from my word list, right? Okay, so I've got simple, and then in my opinion, most designs that are clean are also simple. The last direction I had was traditional. And because traditional and modern are kind of opposites in a way, these aren't going to be connected. We want the company to have a traditional business feel to it, but we also want it to look modern and clean, right? I know that sounds maybe a bit like a juxtaposition, but in reality, you think about it, most companies that have been around for a long time that are a little more traditional have updated to look modern and simple and clean, right? So we've got traditional. Some words that can come off of traditional might be, in this instance, we're talking about on-course training. So a word I might use coming off of there would be education, right? Education is a pretty traditional notion. According to my key directions, when I went this traditional route, I was considering the idea of on-course relating to, like, you know, transportation. You know, boats, cars, plane. Now again, these did show up in my word list. It's okay if there's things that are in your word list that are also in your mind map. It just shows that your thought process is consistent. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here to simple for a second. We had growing. We had improving. And in my opinion, that's a bit of a branch off of growing. I think of sprout. I think of plant. I think of flower. Even though I would not make this logo a flower, it's okay to get all those ideas out there. The whole purpose of your word list and your mind map is to get all of the ideas out so you can see what's actually good. If it helps to think about it, that you can think about it kind of like cleaning out your fridge. You know, when you go to clean out your fridge, you don't just selectively go through and only pick out the stuff that's bad. Most of the time you pull everything out and you go through it and you see what's good and you see what's bad and you get rid of what's bad and you keep what's good. Mind maps and word lists are very similar in that process. Okay, so improving, you know, growth, growing, I'm going to put exercise. We'll go back up here to clean. I know that this doesn't relate to exactly what we're talking about, but I thought of sponge. Right? I thought of soap. I think of Mr. Clean. Again, there's no bad ideas, right? You're just getting the ideas out so that you can filter through them. Let's see what else. White. So we got blue and green. Maybe white is clean and simple at the same time. So we can put that down here. Right? White is clean and simple. Anything else for clean? Nothing right now, so I'll jump back over here to modern. So we've got digital, geometric, abstract. I'm going to put red in here for some reason. I think of red a little bit when I think of modern. What else? Let's see, modern. Yellow comes to mind. What do you think, Tina? What are some ideas for modern? Geometric, I'll put round. Because most geometric designs that are modern have round edges. In some place they can have straight angular edges, but a lot of times you think about like app icons have rounded corners, you know what I mean? Let's see what else we got. modern and digital around. I'm thinking pixels here. Under digital. Screens. What are you talking about? Okay, if we go back down to traditional transportation, I'm going to kind of branch in a weird way here. Trains. Coming off transportation. Tracks. Rails. Steam. Trains. Steam. Let's see, traditional. Think of brown. I also think of like a dark red. Leather. Education. Grad cap. Let's see here. When I'm thinking of all these different things, I'm thinking of movement. But I'm not going to put it down here. I'm going to put movement up here. Because movement does have a connection from transportation, but also to modern. So I'm going to put a star right here. Because this is a concept that connects traditional and modern. Nowhere else have I had a connection between traditional and modern. So this is an important connection. So since that's the only connection between traditional and modern that we found, that's an important connection or a key connection, right? Now that we've got a lot of stuff out here, we can start looking for more of those, right? So we also don't have a connection yet between traditional and simple. We can look through some of these things. We've got improving and exercise, improving. We've got simple, transportation, education. We can build off of some of this, right? Like simple, we can think of icons. A grad cap can be an icon. I know it's a little forced, but we made a connection there, right? And that's what's important. So we could either star the grad cap or we could star the icons. Either way, we can think, do we have any other connections between traditional and simple in the icon realm? In a way, growth and plants and all that, it has a traditional connection as well. Again, it's more of a stretch, but it's kind of a nature or a natural connection, so we can put nature down here as well. Nature is pretty traditional, right? We could even branch off of that. So those are important connections to find, right? We can come back up here and we can look at any of these and see if any of these feel important to us, or if we feel like we need more connections up here. We've got a couple down here. We don't have as many up here, so we can look between modern and clean. We've got geometric here, we've got round and things like that. The general concept of modern is clean and simple, and so we could draw a lot of connections here if we really wanted to, but we can explore this area more. So we've got clean, abstract, geometric, digital, screens. I'm going to put minimal. Right? Something that's minimal is normally both kind of a modern concept and clean, simple, organized. Remember, these are concepts. It's not necessarily like, oh, the logo is going to be organized. It's the concept of organized. When something's clean, it's normally organized and put away. Something's modern, we tend to organize information. We tend to organize our lives, our homes, things like that. And so I'm actually going to star minimal because I think that that's a key connection. Now that I've got all this out here, I'm gonna decide what some of my other favorite important connections are. I'm gonna star blue and green because I feel like those would be a good color scheme for what we're doing. We've also got red and yellow and kind of a brown and dark red as options when we're putting together our logos, but I think that's a good direction to head. It also plays off of this green sprout growing concept, which is another reason why it would be a key connection. What's the word? I just saw improving and transportation, and I thought industrial. That's the word. And so, to be honest, like you could mind map for days, right? But really, you just need to fill a page. If you can fill a page with relatively small bubbles, not like huge bubbles, you should be able to have enough time, enough space to get your ideas out there and find interesting connections. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to star geometric. I'm going to put, we had geometric movement, I'm going to put arrow. And connect that to movement and geometric. I'm going to put triangle in there as well. That was in our original word list, but it connects. Okay. Looking for anything else. I do like the train idea, and I do like the boat idea, so I'm going to mark those. And then I do like this arrow triangle concept. Okay, so now that I've got all those, I'm going to make a little list here in the corner. I've got modern. We've got geometric. Minimal. Blue. Green. Arrow triangle. Growing. Nature. Simple. Icon. Boat. Train. And then movement. Okay, so these are our keywords. Oh, we had grad cap in there too. I think that's all of them. So then I'm going to put these, I'm going to leave them here, but I can also type them up and put them in there next to my word list digitally. So there you go. There's a little mind map demo for you.